going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all been well. Today, hopefully, if everything goes smooth, we're going to be installing the Northwest Fab Eco Crawler. Right now, I'm on my way to the store. I'm going to grab some gear oil, and then I'm heading over to my friend Gavin's house. He's actually been a huge part in getting this truck back up and running. He helped me rebuild the whole motor and resurface the heads and everything. So personally, I've never done anything that required me to take apart a T-case, especially on a newer truck. I've done dual cases in the past, but I've used like trail gear, crawler boxes and stuff like that, and all of those are like pre-assembled units. So all I really had to do was take apart the old T-case, or remove the old T-case, and then pretty much slap it on, make sure everything lines up, drill some holes, and you know, everything more or less bolts up. It's pretty simple. So basically how it works is you take apart your T-case, you take out the planetary gears, and you put that onto a donor case, which can be a variety of different cases. It's kind of hard to explain, but you pretty much take the planetary gears from your T-case, you put it onto the input shaft that Northwest Fab gives you, and you put that into your transfer case, and then the input shaft from your transfer case with the donor planetary gears goes into the adapter that it comes with. So hopefully once we start getting everything apart, I can kind of explain it a little better. It's kind of hard right now because you can't really visualize it, and it's hard for me to explain because I'm very new to this. So that's why I'm going to Gavin's house, because for this I feel like I need some adult supervision so I don't mess anything up. But yeah, it should be a pretty sick install once it's done. I'll be able to go in 4 double low, so I'll have a lot more traction, a lot more torque at lower speeds, kind of help me get over some dicey sections and stuff like that. Because even when I'm geared, I have 529 gears, it's not low enough and not enough torque, especially for obstacles that have a really vertical step up, where in most cases you'd want to just park pretty much right against that obstacle, and then from there you want to slowly creep up. But currently right now my truck doesn't have enough torque to just kind of slowly creep up without me giving it a lot of gas and burning clutch, and you know, that's not how I plan to wheel or want to wheel. So dual case more or less is needed for my truck, for some of the obstacles that I do. So hopefully everything goes good. Stay tuned. I'll show you guys the gear oil and all that stuff, and we'll get this thing apart. Shoot. So we're here at Gavin's house. The man, the myth, the legend. We're gonna start getting this thing apart, pull the drive shafts out, and right now letting the T-case cool down a little bit, trans and everything. So there's just 2 bolts left, and then we got everything undone inside of the truck, so the shifter's all loose. And then we're gonna take out the T-case. Hopefully this thing comes out nicely, and we should be good. So we got the T-case apart, pulled out the input shaft with the gears, and so the Northwest Fab's input shaft with the donor case gears is going to go into the Tacoma T-case, and then this can go into the adapter once everything is together. So you pretty much got the transfer case together. This is the Northwest Fab Eco Crawler with their single shifter shift kit. I don't know exactly where this is gonna come out yet, so there's some room for play. I can kind of flip this and move it around to see where it'll come out better. But this right now would be in high, and then if you push it all the way forward this way, it'll make it in low. Stay tuned, we got some wires to extend and maybe a little clearancing for this shifter. And yeah, so it's been a few days since Gavin and I installed the Eco Crawler on my truck. Pretty much we're doing it on a Sunday, so we're trying to just get everything done as much as we could, because I want it to be somewhat drivable for the week, because I knew it was going to be a little busy. So I kind of had to put the camera down, just lock in for a little bit. And you guys didn't really miss much. I have a video of kind of the stuff that I was doing for the Eco Crawler. You do have to, they suggest that you have to remove material. Some of you might not have to. For me, I did. From the back of the transmission, where the shift rod actually goes, when it's in the high position, where it'll be most of the time, the shift rod actually touches and makes contact with the back of the trans. So I had to get like a die grinder, pretty much Dremel away all the material, and then I just test fit. So I pretty much had the adapter with like just a shift rod in it, because kind of carrying that wouldn't be fun, trying to do it over and over if it's all built already. So just trying to figure out how much clearance I needed was a lot easier that way, and I just pretty much ground away until it was done. So this is how it's pretty much set up in my truck right now. So this is in low, and then when I put it into high, I don't know if you guys can see it, but right there it's making a little contact with the plastic trim on the console. So I'm gonna just take the console out, I'm gonna Dremel some of this area, and then I'm gonna put the boot back on. I kind of match that with the Dremel. From there, I'm gonna make a hole and try and stick this shifter through it. Hopefully everything will look a little cleaner. But I mean, other than that, I can cycle through all the gears. So like I can go all the way to 6th, even and low, plenty of clearance. So that's kind of the main thing. If I had this going straight, it would definitely contact in 4th gear. If I had it over this way, I'd have to end up cutting more out of this area. So I think on this side is kind of the most convenient. It doesn't touch my Switch Pro, and I think it'll just look pretty good over there. So here you guys can kind of see I have the boot back on the center console. You kind of see how I clearanced it on the bottom. I just had to remove a little bit of material. All the screws go back into place. So I just put a little notch in there and then trim the boot just a little bit to clear the shifter, and then I'm gonna drop this back in, and then everything should be able to line back up. I got everything buttoned up, got the center console back in, got all the shift boots and everything all good. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. You guys can see it's pretty close, but it's not touching anything. So I can still shift it into low, and then shift it back into high. You can shift into, you know, if it's in 5th gear, 6th gear, 3rd, 4th, 2nd, 1st. Cycles through all the gears just fine. And I think it looks good. Now that I pretty much got everything cleaned up on the inside, I was gonna stick with the 2-piece rear drive shaft, but I ended up just deciding that it's not that good. It's not gonna be that big. I'll show you guys. I was gonna stick with the 2-piece rear drive shaft, but this is where the union bearing would go, and it's not gonna be that big. So I figured, just to kind of have a better pinion angle and just eliminate another failure point, I went with a single piece drive shaft, which I need to pick up because I had it made this week. And then I think it ended up coming out to about 61¼ inches or something, flange to flange. So I'm gonna head over there today and pick that up, and then get this bolted up, and I'll give you guys a quick demo. I'm on my way to pick up my rear drive shaft, and yes, I'm driving my truck. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but don't really care because I paid for my truck and nobody else does. So if you're wondering how I'm getting there, I'm actually in 4 high. I'm just driving super slow, taking a couple back roads, And I guess because there is no rear drive shaft right now, I'm not experiencing any like binding or anything, but other than that, it seems pretty normal. I'm just not going to drive fast or, you know, shift really hard, stuff like that. But anyways, I went to Powertrain. They specialize in drive shafts, so they're the ones that made my one-piece rear drive shaft that I'm going to go pick up now. It's like a five-minute drive from my house, so it's pretty convenient. I'm gonna go over there, pick up the drive shaft, bolt it on, and then I'll be able to drive in 2 high again, at least. Other than that, yeah, I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's all done and I get the drive shaft in. All right, so I just zapped in the new drive shaft right in the parking lot, actually. So you guys can see, got a one-piece drive shaft now. Everything bolted up. So yeah, I think the length was like 61 1/4 or something like that. But yeah, so pretty much that completes this part of the build. So I'm gonna try and find a spot. Maybe I could try and demo the Eco Crawler for you guys, so you can get an idea of what it does and, you know, how it functions and everything. I just got to the beach. I'm just gonna do like a quick demo on kind of how everything works, and then you guys can kind of see the difference. So take a look. I'm in neutral right now. I'm gonna activate the regular 4 high. Okay, so now that's in 4 high. So because this is in high, everything is just like a normal 4 high. Nothing changed. So if I go into 4 low on my transfer case, that'll be regular 4 low. And then this will stay in high. So this is 4 low. And then to put it in 4 double low, I leave this one in low, and then I push this forward and lock that, so that's in low. So this is 4 double low. And then to go back into just 4 low, just like that, just back in low. I'll show you guys the difference. You guys can see my tires kind of move. So this is 4 low in first gear. And this is just idling. I'm not giving it any gas. Now if I put it in 4 double low, put it back in first gear, so you can kind of see how much slower it's idling. Same thing, idling, no gas. It's just moving really slow. But that's what I wanted, you know. I wanted to have a little more control when I'm off-road. I don't really have to worry about, you know, stalling, especially on more challenging areas or sketchy kind of situations. So this is gonna help out a lot for sure. And then, but I guess I'm gonna have to find out if I'm gonna end up pulling it back out and doing some 4/7 gears. I feel like maybe eventually down the line I would, but right now I'm gonna do some testing and kind of see how it goes. So I just got back home. Just want to do a quick little demo just so you guys could see how the truck kind of works now. Yeah, other than that, you know, if you have a manual Tacoma and you're looking for like some kind of crawl case, technically the Eco Crawler is the only one on the market right now. You could do a taco box if you did the FJ TK swap too, but if you wanted to use the stock Tacoma transmission, for the manuals anyway, and T-case, you'd have to go with the Eco Crawler. So a lot of people were asking like why I decided to go with the Eco Crawler and not like a taco box and all that stuff. And it's because they didn't have any taco box adapters or built units that I could use for my truck without doing like a full FJ swap on the T-case and everything. So kind of why I went with the Eco Crawler. Plus it's a new company or a new design, I guess. So I just wanted to try it out, see how it would work out. And then I am planning to go on a little wheeling trip soon. So I'll be able to get to try this out, see how it performs off-road, and kind of see if I need to adjust anything in the future. But other than that, I hope you guys found it useful or helpful for building your truck or whatever you want. It's going to be all for this video. I really appreciate everyone for following. And another big shout out to you guys. I hit my 1,000 subscribers, and that's huge. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please like, subscribe, do all the things. Don't forget to check out my website, Instagram. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. and we'll catch you on the next one. Shoots.